me going to corporate was a funny incident actually. I had returned from a trip to Australia and I was doing nothing for about 2 months. November was, in those days, then nothing happens in November. There was a lull before the actual December season starts. Now it is like every month there is a lot of something or the other happening. Especially, I would call for the past 10 years, from November the music season starts. So
much before that, I think even during the Navratri time it starts.
Navratri is that's always been there, but November is November Fest, the Hindu November Fest. There is Bharat Sangeet Utsav. There's a lot of other things just cropped up, and it's a good thing. So in those days there was nothing happening in November. So when I came back somewhere in October, one of my friends called me. She was a banker. My cousin was supposed to attend an interview. He was not coming, so it was a temporary job in Greenlace Bank as well. Greenlace Bank. So she asked, "Why don't you join? It's just a temporary group, so you can go for concerts. Just come and attend the interview. If you feel like it, you can join and be there. You can quit if you don't feel like it." So okay. That is how I went for the interview, got selected. I had a bachelor's of Indian music degree at that time.
Okay.
And I was kind of pursuing my master's in Indian music at that time. Went and then they asked a question about teamwork. And it was very easy for me to answer because I was doing the same thing on stage. So I got appointed, and then that's where I began. And then they liked my work. I liked the environment, and I felt that I had something in me more than music.
You've also been traveling a lot, delivering lectures, doing workshops. I see a lot of your Facebook posts, and I think you've recently been to Australia for you've composed music for a dance production.
Yeah.
Tell us about your experiences, in these trips, and and how have you been able to influence?
I want to be a very different musician, not just play concert and stick.
I mean, I think you're out of the country for almost 8 to 10 months in a year, so.
Yeah, off late it has been that way. I enjoy traveling too, so meeting new people, new cultures, I work with different musicians and different genres of music too. So not just classical Carnatic music, though this is my forte. I like to explore other stuff. So one of the things is composing. Whatever we do on stage is one part of being creative. To be creative to the entire 1.5 hours, 2 hours, it takes a lot. This production was a very challenging one. It was one of the most reputed dance companies of Australia. They were celebrating their 40th year, and when they discussed about this project, the project was called Mariam in 2000. Last year they discussed about this. It was very interesting. How many of us know that there are different kinds of Mariamman, worship of the same Mariamman in many parts of India and even in Pakistan. So when I really dwelled into the subject and started looking into so it was a very interesting project, and it took about 2 months for us to compose the music. One of my really good friends, Satish, very talented youngster, so he helped me in composing too. So there were many sleepless nights when we sat down and wanted to record and send it back to Melbourne for them to choreograph according to the music and all. So there were interesting points at very regular and irregular intervals. So they used to come back and say, "We want it this way," to rejig. So it's a very nice experience and it's a very challenging experience. It was a roaring success, the entire production. So it had about 3 parts. So it's a very interesting project. So probably sometime soon I'll put it on Facebook and YouTube.
That will be nice.
Yeah,
I look forward to seeing
yeah.
that.
To be honest, I really wanted to play fewer concerts this year. So I don't find it really happy to say that I'm playing 45 concerts. Why? Is because I feel it's a burnout
It takes a toll on you.
for any musician. We can be creative, but if it's going to be like 45 or 50, 60 concerts, it will definitely burn you as an artist. You won't, beyond a point, you won't be even thinking. You just go there and play. I don't want to do that. I believe I always want to give the audience who come for my concert or the artist who I share the stage with my best. And I have to enjoy what I play. I want to emote. There has to be a life in what I play. So I thought I should reduce the number of concerts and keep it to a decent number. So I'm playing about 20 concerts this year.
This year, okay.
So nearly half of what I used to play. So I feel this is going to be a very interesting season because I can go and
You
listen
can go and
to,
listen to a lot of concerts. Yeah.
particularly there are a lot of youngsters out there who sing very well. And if possible, I'll give them my viewpoints of how they can look at this as a career. And I also want to listen to a few concerts which make me
Which you always wanted to but never could.
Yeah, could. And I play for various artists this season, and I really enjoy playing with my father. So I'm looking forward to those two concerts. So he plays very, very, very rarely. So those are the two concerts that I'm really, really looking forward to play and be on stage for. I would have loved to play for MS Subbulakshmi, but unfortunately,
Your father had the privilege.
he definitely had the privilege of I think it's mutual. Like I've heard MS Amma tell that me would go pota poro money the party even in the days that she couldn't even move out of her own house. So that, like I said before, I've shared really, really personal, emotional and lighter moments with not many legends like Ashimuri Mama, Palakkad Ravi Mama, Palakkad Sundaram, a lot of them. That is only possible because I was born into a family of musicians, and my father is a legend, and he had a lot of personal connect with so many of the artists. I picked up the phone. He used to be really, really busy. He used to be out of station for more than 20 days of a month. I've had the pleasure of picking up phones to hear voices such as Kavitha Rajaram, Samuri Mama himself, MS, lot many artists like that. Expectations to learn the art form in a proper way. That is where they are in the TK Gondra Bani, Musli Bani. Musli Subramanian was my mother's guru as well. So I'm happy that they are in that good Bani.
I can certainly vouch for that because I have seen them, singing in front of, in our group, for the symphony and all that, and I think they're doing a fine job.
They like to sing, so there are a lot of distractions these days. So I'm not compelling them to practice like X number of hours like I was
Like you
doing.
used to.
I don't know whether it is good or bad, but I think they like to sing, and there are a lot of opportunities these days. I want them not to look for fame. They have to know what they are. They have to equip themselves. And there's a long way.
They have to develop an
They have
individuality
to
and not necessarily the son of the daughters of.
That is anyway going to be there.
That's always.
The
So
granddaughters of blah,
the
blah,
pressure
blah.
and expectations are even more.
It is definitely, trust me, it is much
It's immense.
more than what any who is not a son or a daughter of a legend. So that's an additional baggage that we carry, both on positive and negative notes. So I want them to equip themselves very well. They have to learn a lot. They have a lot of way to go. Performance is just one aspect. To know and to be able to talk about or experience and live through the real music, it takes a lot. Every day is a learning, every concert is a learning. Every time you hear the same Kalyani, the Kamboji or Shankarabharam, it is different. Respect the artist means not just say, Skalam, brilliant. They have to understand what it takes to be on stage. You come into a concert, listen to it and say, that's our partner. Thodi, cycle yaniki. It is very easy to come.
What are your expectations from your audience when you're performing on stage?
I'm not saying that they need to come and say, oh, brilliant. I'm not saying that. Oh, Brahma brilliant. The idea is they need to understand what it takes to be a musician, to be on stage. What are all the sacrifices?
And sort of reserve the comments, to the end of the concert and not. What I'm trying to ask you is,
they have to enjoy.
Exactly.
They have not come for. They shouldn't be coming to a concert to critique it. They need to come to enjoy it.